Okay, have you been playing a fast one on pregnancy? As in, you have been making out, yet you do not want to get pregnant? Or you have been longing to have a child of your own, but you do not know your fertile windows, as in the days you are most likely to conceive? If this concerns you, please stick to the end of the video, as all of these and more will be discussed in the video. And hey, if you're watching for the first time, this is the voice of your favorite teacher, Glory Jonathan. And do not forget to subscribe, to turn on your notification button so you don't miss out on videos like this. Okay, what is menstrual cycle? Menstrual cycle is a monthly series regulated by the female hormones called estrogen and progesterone. It prepares the woman for potential pregnancy. An average menstrual cycle is 28 days, but can vary from 21 to 35 days. So if your menstrual cycle is more than 35 days, please consult a doctor. Menstrual cycle begins with menstruation and ends a day before the next menstruation begins. Yes, please take note of that phrase. I'm going to repeat it again. Menstrual cycle begins with menstruation and ends a day before the next menstruation begins. Okay, so what are the phases of the menstrual cycle? Before we begin the phases or the stages of the menstrual cycle, we are going to familiarize ourselves with the female reproductive organ. Yes, looking at this, you can see the female reproductive organ. You can see the ovary. You can see the fallopian tube. You can see the uterus. You can see the cervix. And then you can see the vagina. So these are the female reproductive organ. So now that we have known this, what are the stages of the menstrual cycle? The menstrual cycle has 4 stages, as you can see in the diagram. The stages of the menstrual cycle begins with menstruation, from menstruation to the follicular phase, to ovulation, and the luteal phase. So these are the 4 phases of menstrual cycle: menstruation, follicular phase, ovulation, and the luteal phase. So let's analyze this phase one after the other, starting with menstruation. Menstruation is a flow of bloody waste known as unfertilized egg from the inner layer of the uterus through the vagina. Now, as you can see, it lasts from the first day, it lasts from day 1 to 5. There are women whose menstrual cycle who have their menstruation for just 3 days. So it actually depends on the woman. Now, after the menstruation, we have the follicular phase. Now, what happens at follicular phase is that an egg begins to develop in the ovary. A new egg is formed right in the ovary. Then the egg will remain in the ovary until it becomes mature. Then we move to the 3rd phase, which is ovulation. Yes, ovulation is the release of a mature egg. So immediately the ovary releases an egg. a woman is said to be in her ovulation. Looking at this diagram, you can see that ovulation is on 14th. Yes, that's the estimated date which science says a woman is likely to ovulate. Then we move to the last phase, which is the luteal phase. You can see that the luteal phase is longer than every other phases. Now at luteal phase, the egg travels from the point of production to a point where they are either fertilized to form an embryo or a baby, or is shed off as bloody waste known as menstruation. So if it sheds off, the menstrual cycle begins all over again. So now the big question is, how can you avoid pregnancy if you are not ready? And how can you know the days you are most likely to conceive if you are looking for a baby? Now to do this, you have to do or know two things. Yes, you have to know two things. The first thing you have to do is for you to track your menstrual cycle. That's the very first thing you have to do. You have to do what? You have to track your menstrual cycle. No, this is not the one. You have to know how to track your menstrual cycle. Yes. So how do you know how to track your menstrual cycle? Now, for the purpose of this video, I have drafted out 2 calendar months which will help us to be able to track our menstrual cycle. Now what you do, yes, that is it. Okay, now what you do is for you to, anytime your menstruation starts, go to the calendar and circle that very day. If you have a menstruation 2 times a month, make sure you always cycle the first day you start bleeding. In this calendar, the woman has her first menstruation on the 7th of May 2025. It doesn't matter how many days her menstruation lasts. What matters is that she cycled the first day she started bleeding. Her menstruation begins again on the 6th of June 2025, and then she cycles the day she started bleeding again, which is on the 6th of June 2025. We are going to use this to track her menstrual cycle. Remember, I told you that menstrual cycle begins with menstruation and ends a day before the next menstruation begins. So Wednesday 7th of May is her day 1. 8th is her day 2. 9th is her day 3. 10th of May is her day 4. So we are counting like that till a day before her next menstruation begins, which is on the 6th of June 2025. So use this calendar, go to 7th of May, okay? Use this calendar, go to 7th of May, write 1 beside 7, 2 beside 8, 3 beside 9. Do like this till you get to 5th of June. Now count how many days you have from 7th of May till 6th of June before her next menstruation begins. Then you will see that it is 30 days. If you don't have it correctly, please do that again. Now, this woman has 30 days cycle. Well done. That is how to track the menstrual cycle. Now, the second thing you do is for you to be able to identify your fertile window. The second thing is for you to identify your fertile window. Now, according to science says that a woman starts ovulating 14 days before her next menstruation begins. I repeat that. According to science, a woman starts ovulating 14 days before her next menstruation begins. So if you are going to minus 14 from your cycle, if your menstrual cycle is 28, you should minus 14. Yes, that's what I mean. If it's 35, you're going to minus 14. If it is 21, you are going to minus 14. So let's get back to a woman whose menstrual cycle was 30 days. So we are going to minus 14 from 30. Let's do the mathematics together. 30 minus 14 gives you 16, right? So this woman is ovulating on her day 16th of her menstrual cycle, which is the 22nd of March 2025. Okay, she is ovulating on 16th, which is 22nd of March 2025. Okay, let's use this. Now, that is why her day 14, where you see that green dot, is exactly when she is ovulating. Now, this day that she's ovulating, which is 22nd of May, her 16th day of menstrual cycle, is an estimated date because sometimes ovulation can vary due to the activities of the female hormones. So we are going to add 2 days after her estimated ovulation day and 2 days before her estimated ovulation day. So we have added that. That is why you see we have 23, day 23, day 24 after her estimated date. Then we also have the 21 and 20 before her estimated date. So the 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 are her fertile window. The days she is likely to conceive. Yes. Well, we have been hearing stories like, I got pregnant while I was still having my menstruation. So to avoid that, we're going to add extra 5 days behind for those with short cycle. So we have day 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Are we together? Okay. So these 10 days are the fertile window of this woman with 30 days cycle. So you want to increase your intimacy during these days with your partner if you are trying to conceive, and stay away from this day if you do not want to get pregnant. Yes, if you do not want to get pregnant, you have to use protection if you must do it. So this is how we have come to the end of our menstrual cycle. Do not forget to drop your comments at the comment section and subscribe.